In this demo, I will demonstrate how NextLabs SkyDRM integrates seamlessly with Visual Studio Code, enabling users to protect files in a sanctuary folder using Digital Rights Management (DRM). A sanctuary folder is a secure Windows directory accessible only by the trusted application, Visual Studio Code. After opening files with Visual Studio Code, users cannot copy content or capture the screen from Visual Studio Code. Users can edit and save the files. Users can use the Save As functions for files with the saved files protected by SkyDRM within the sanctuary folder. When files are copied or moved outside the sanctuary folder, they are automatically protected with a predefined policy. Now, let's move into the demo. When Visual Studio Code is integrated with SkyDRM, the following message will be displayed upon opening. The application is running in sanctuary mode. Only changes made to files within designated sanctuary folders will be saved permanently. All modifications to files outside these folders will be saved temporarily to the C drive in the folder sanctuary under SkyDRM. This ensures that Visual Studio Code can only save files within the sanctuary folder, which is protected by SkyDRM. Here, we will see that if the user is not logged into SkyDRM Desktop for Windows, Visual Studio Code cannot access files in the sanctuary folder, even if it is configured as a trusted application. For example, when attempting to open accountDAO.java in Visual Studio Code, the message "You don't have permission to open this file" is displayed. Now, we will log in as SkyDRM admin. Once logged into SkyDRM Desktop for Windows, Visual Studio Code can access files in the sanctuary folder since it is configured as a trusted application. Let's verify this by opening the folder. Navigate to the sanctuary folder and select the Adobe Reader folder. Here, you will see that the user is able to view the files in this folder. Now, let's try to copy the content from Visual Studio Code. You would see that SkyDRM blocks the action and displays the message, "You don't have permission to perform the copy content operation." Since copying is not permitted, pasting will not produce any result. Now, if the user attempts to capture the screen from Visual Studio Code, SkyDRM blocks the action and shows a black screen. Since the user isn't permitted to copy or capture the screen in Visual Studio Code, these actions are denied. Let's open the operation.txt file in the sanctuary folder and make some edits. As you can see, the user can edit the files in the sanctuary folder from Visual Studio Code. Let's save the file. Here, you can see that the saved file remains in the sanctuary folder and continues to be protected by SkyDRM. Next, let's attempt to save files inside of sanctuary folder from Visual Studio Code. Go to File, select Save As, and let's save the file as operations1.txt. As you can see, a new file, operations1.txt, is created in the sanctuary folder. Now, let's try to save the same file outside of the sanctuary folder. Similarly, go to File and select Save As. I will navigate to a non-sanctuary folder desktop and save the file as operationsnew.txt. Since the user is attempting to save files outside the sanctuary folder from Visual Studio Code, SkyDRM displays the message, "With sanctuary mode enabled, your changes are saved to the C drive in the folder sanctuary under SkyDRM." Let's verify this. I will open the sanctuary folder, then SkyDRM, C, and Users. Selecting John Tyler's desktop folder, we can see the actual files remain in the C drive under the folder sanctuary inside SkyDRM to prevent data leaks. Now, I will demonstrate denying access to the sanctuary folder for untrusted applications. Let's try to open a file in sanctuary folder with Notepad, an untrusted application. As you can see, a SkyDRM message pops up that the user cannot open file operation.txt cannot be opened. The folder Adobe Reader under the C drive Sanctuary folder doesn't exist. This shows that the files in the Sanctuary folder can only be opened by trusted applications. Lastly, I will demonstrate what happens when we try to copy or move a file from the Sanctuary folder to another location. First, I will copy the Word document 1 to desktop. As you can see, I am able to copy the Word document and it has a .nxl extension, indicating that the file is automatically protected by SkyDRM. Next, let's move the car.dwg file to the desktop. I'm able to move it, and similarly, there's a .nxl extension. This is because SkyDRM automatically protects files that are copied or moved according to predefined rules. With this, we conclude our demo on SkyDRM integration for Visual Studio Code. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in learning more about secure collaboration using E-DRM, please subscribe to the NextLabs channel and stay tuned for other videos on the topic.